Hey everyone, welcome to TORQ Live. I am Aaron Chimmons, your host. Let's get Ricky into the room and then we can get this party started because it is contract season. So, welcome back from Christmas. Happy New Year to you all. Do we have Ricky in the room? Ricky, how's it going?
Yo, what's happening?
Good, I can hear you. Yeah, brilliant. So, Ricky, the Trail Talk, it's the first one of 2025. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, man. Great to be here.
We
Big,
kind of
big
need to say
talks this
that.
evening.
It's contract season. That is what all the chat is about over the past days and weeks and what have you. But so let's dig into it. We have 30 minutes. This is Trail Talk Live. You can catch up on it tomorrow on Instagram. Yeah, you can do it there. On Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. It'll go up after the show. You can download it, listen to it in your run. We shoot for 30 minutes. Drop your questions in the question box. Don't put it in the comment section because that's hard to follow. Stick a question if you've got a question for us. But other than that, Ricky, let's dig into it. Tom Evans out at TERX. Let me throw some numbers at you. Let me throw some stats at you and get your feedback on it. So we ran a poll on Instagram, big feedback on it, and the overwhelming response was he's got to be going to on. It kind of makes sense. Look, they made more money than anybody last year. They had more investment than any running brand last year. What do you think of On?
Yeah, when you throw those kind of numbers at it, yeah, it sounds like it's meant to be. And I see, like, I've heard from so many people, and they're all saying on. But honestly, me personally, I don't think so. I don't see it. I don't see on. I know Tom might want, or people might think that Tom might want this new brand and to take a new brand that's a road brand onto the trails and do extremely well on the trails. But I just don't think that On have the pedigree for someone like Tom Evans. I don't see it, man. I see other brands. Maybe we'll get into it, but I see other brands that can do better with Tom and their team. I just see bigger brands pulling out big numbers for Tom Evans. At the end of the day, it is Tom Evans. And I don't think On have got enough pedigree behind them for him to trust them. For him to trust him so that he can go and win UTMB or go and win a big race like Western States or something like that, you know?
Well, I mean, look, he's already done what he needs to do. He wants to come back. He wants to win UTMB. He's so competitive. He wants to say, I am the best. Here it is. This is me. He would love to be the face of On launching a super shoe, a trail shoe. And there's no better place to do it than this coming season at UTMB. That would be brilliant. He'll be able to run in the prototype right now. He likes to be the face of the brand. He likes to be the top of the tree, and he could be that at On. Where else could he? Where else? What other brands could he have that position?
I will say a funny story. One of our very own in the chat room, Josh is his name. Josh put a comment up on a run that Tom did in the Lake District lately. I think he ran like 43K or something, rapid pace. And Josh asked the question in the comments on Strava, what shoes were you in? And like people don't think Tom's that funny. Tom said fast ones. I loved it. It was a class answer. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna throw some names at you. I think North Face, I think Solomon. I know they're two obvious choices, especially Solomon, but I really think if he signed for Solomon tomorrow or North Face tomorrow, I would not be one bit surprised. I actually think North Face could be a great fit. You'd have uh, you'd have John Albon and Tom Evans, the two Brits killing it on the trails, and I think that would work really well. I also think that type of shoe, the Vective or something like that, is something that I think would work really well for Tom. Bigger man, slightly heavier guy than most normal trail runners. So I think that it's a brand that could really suit Tom. That's what I think, anyway.
I never thought about the North Face. Do you think we need a Tom and a Zach? Like good comment there in the chat room there. Just the TNF have the money, On have the money, but I also like the one you threw out there as Salomon
Mm.
because Francois, he made the step last year. He moved on to the longer distance, competed and won course record Tour de Jean. So that's sort of saying he's entering the next stage of his career. Killian left a couple of years ago to create Nnormal. So there's definitely a void in the ultra space, and Salomon kind of like the athlete to take that and kind of run with it so that they can focus on the short distance and bring more people into the sport. So I like the Salomon. What
Mm.
else have you got?
They're my two. They're my two. Like, I think Terex did a fantastic job. Tom had a great career with Terex. He brought them on. They brought him on. They helped each other out. For me personally, I think it's either going to be Solomon or North Face. On, yeah, okay. On if the money there. But the only other trail runner I know that wears On isn't really a trail runner, and that's Runner's Flow. You know, Florian, the German athlete who did the Red Bull. Fantastic character, great runner and great road runner, not so great on the trails. And I put a lot of that down to bad shoes, man. They don't make a good trail shoe. So I think for me, On is out, North Face in, Solomon in, and maybe we'll get like absolutely stunned, like which could happen, which could happen.
We're missing
Yeah,
one here. What about Nike? Wouldn't Tom love to be the guy that goes, I am bringing Nike back to the top?
yeah,
The company that should be at the top, that are not at the top, that kind of lost their way. But Tom is like of that old school of thinking that Nike are the top of the food chain, and he would love to be that guy. Like the Ultrafly needs a refresh. You know, they brought that as one of the first kind of carbon plated trail shoes, and it lacked that pop.
yeah.
You know, it was like a trail shoe. It was like a carbon plated trail shoe, but it wasn't super. And now we've got all these nitrogen infused PEBA foams and these different foams that are just amazing. And it's about time that Nike updated that shoe with that foam. So what about Nike as a step for Tom?
That's a very good shout. And you know, in all the chat over the last few days, I don't think I've seen Nike mentioned. And it's like you'd imagine a big brand like that, yeah. And with a few other lads leaving Nike, like Francesco's leaving or he's gone, but we'd say but we'd say a good time maybe for Tom to step in. Yeah, I never thought of Nike. Look, Nike definitely have the money for someone like Tom, so they're definitely going to bring that to the table, and he's gonna want that. And like you said, bringing Nike back to the top or trying to bring them back to the top of what they were in road running, what they are known worldwide. That would definitely be a cool challenge for Tom. Yeah, yeah.
I've got two more that I want to throw out at you, and I'm conscious about how much time we spent on Tom Evans, and we have a string of a ton of kind of scoops on athletes that we need to drop here, but Tom would actually love it that he's taken up so much airtime on our amazing trail and ultra running show. So Tom will love that. What do you think about Nnormal?
I don't see it. Like I don't see it. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I don't see it. Yeah, like they never even came into my head from the word go. I was thinking, no, they're just not going to have enough money, but put behind Tom. Like I just don't think so. Run out.
And then last option is Kip Run, the trail running brand from Decathlon. Big money, big business. They're looking a star. They went to the States around TRE, and it's widely known that they were offering Zach Miller like six figures to come and sign with them. So they are looking, I hesitate to say it, like a superstar dude to front their team, English speaking. So, I mean, Zach's not a Tom, but in terms of performance, they're on a
Yeah,
level.
yeah, yeah. Interesting to know what kind of money they were throwing at Zach that he didn't want to switch. You know what's he getting from North Face that they can't give him? You know, I'd love to know that, or is it just a loyalty thing for Zach? You know, Zach comes across as a loyal guy. If you're good to Zach, I think Zach will be good to you. But again, Kip Run for Tom, I think it's too new. It's too unheard of. I just don't. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. There's no magic. There's no magic.
I I think you're right on that. There's no magic. So let's move on. Tom's had the time. I don't know. Has he taken up like more than a third of the show? What about Allie O, influencer extraordinaire in the running world? We all love her content. She's got a great sense of humor and she's fast as fuck. She chooses not to renew at Nnormal. I'm guessing it's because she got a better offer elsewhere, but elsewhere she is confirmed is a road and track deal.
Mm.
So what do you think about that one?
Yeah, like I gave her my female athlete of the year. I gave her kind of like my content creator on the running world side of the year as well. I just think she's banging it out of the park. She's fun to watch. She's been amazing to follow for the last couple of years. It's been great seeing her do her thing on the Golden Trail Series with Nnormal. And I know I speak for everyone that we'd love to see her back doing that next year and getting better in the Golden Trail Series. But this looks like a step backwards towards trail and more towards track and field. So she's obviously getting offered some silly money to go back and track. Maybe it's a love for track, but I thought she was loving it on the trails. I thought she was having tons of fun, and I really wanted to see her. In terms of speculation, I don't know. I actually can't figure out who she go to because I can't see her going to somewhere like Nike. Like that's never going to happen, after all so that's never going to happen. And then maybe Adidas. Are Adidas coming in with big bucks? Adidas. And then I think on, on in track and field. That could happen. And Ollie Strander would be super cool for on, I think. I think she'd do wonders for that brand.
But Ricky, you've said it yourself, they have shit trail shoes. And
Yeah.
she will not be getting the inside scoop
Yeah.
on what's coming in trail. So I'm not big in the on vibe. I'm not big in the Nike vibe as well. I'm with you there. But one brand that I think could be a decent fit for her, considering she said, I will still race some trail. And I'm interpreting that as I will not race a Golden Trail, but I will maybe compete in the US trials and these, 2 or 3 races or whatever throughout the season, maybe pre and post track and field. What about Puma?
Oh, oh, yes. Yes. And Puma are bringing money. I know that because I've been talking to some, even in Ireland, it's some big retailers in Ireland, and Puma are coming in strong on road and trail. They're bringing big money. They're offering big discounts towards other brands to get other brands out and get Puma in. If they're doing that here in Ireland, what are they doing in America? Like, so they're in a good position, and they're coming in bold as well. Like they're coming in bold and they're saying big things about their shoes that they've got coming out. So yeah, that's a very good shout. That's a very good shout.
Tom Evans was also getting some Puma shouts as well because there have been a couple of things leaked out or posted out. The likes of Matt Daniels was a Nike athlete. He's now been testing some Puma trail shoes. Don't know if there's a contract involved there, but obviously Puma are in the trail game, sending out shoe samples. So we're going to hear something from Puma this year, and we don't know what it is. We don't know what money they're bringing to the table. But I think the track and field, a little bit of trail, and Ali just being a great personality in the sport, that would be a great sign for anybody.
I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed at Ali though because she teased us yesterday on her Instagram saying she was going to tell us today. She was going to tell us today, and I thought we'll know by now, and I still don't know anything. Do you know anything?
I have shared everything I know with you guys. I
It's
don't know.
killer. I'm mad to find out. Like I'm mad to find out. Yeah.
From Allie O, now we're on to Francesco Pupi. Pupi, not Francesco Pusi. So he leaves Nike or doesn't renew. I think maybe there just wasn't a renewal there because he doesn't have somewhere to go, I think is what I'm reading from messages and things. He's leaked or he's put out a picture on Instagram hiding the shoes.
Mm.
There's some chat in the Trail Talk WhatsApp. These may be the red colorway of the La Sportiva Prodigio Pro that Anton Kuprichka has been seen wearing. Give me your thoughts on Francesco Pupi leaving Nike and what would be a good fit for him?
Yeah, 5 years with Nike, some big results, some good races. I I think what you said is true. I think that it's they're not renewing the contract with him rather than him stepping away, because I don't think he'd step away from Nike. Like I don't think he'd need to step away unless it was one where that's it, your 5 years are up. We're not going to renew that, which, look, is tough on any athlete. But I'm going to jump in and say he has Puma written all over him, I think. I just think he has Puma written all over him. I think he'll go for a shoe that hasn't been really tested, hasn't been proven. He'll get some big, big money, because I know he's the kind of guy that likes to deal and make a good deal when he's signing a contract. And I think it'll be all about the green for Francessco. I think it will. Because he likes to tell other athletes, you need to back yourself, you need to know your worth, which is brilliant. And if he finds out what he thinks he knows he's worth and he gets a company to back that, he'll go for that all day.
He likes to eat his own cooking, as they say. What I would like to float with you, don't you think Nnormal would be a great partnership for him?
And again, I think, as far as I'm aware, like, him and Killian are pretty close. They're very good friends, I think. So yeah, it'd be a good fit too. It would be a good fit. Yeah, I could see him rocking a pair of Kajak. How do we say it? I can never say it.
Sherrod,
Shirag. Yeah, I could see him
or Kai
rocking a pair of
Boyks.
Kai box. Yeah, Kai box. Yeah, I don't see him in the Tomer though. I don't see him in the Tomer. Can't see him in them.
He doesn't seem like that type of guy, but I'm sure he ran around in the Zagama twos, which I don't think would be that much different than a
Mm,
Summer two. But look, I think with his relationship with the PTRA and the fact that Killian formed that, he obviously has a close working relationship with Killian. Wouldn't say it's a friendship other than a running friendship,
mm.
but I think in terms of his position in the sport and him being outspoken about certain things, which may not have sat well with Nike, although also Nike might be like over our heads. We don't even listen. We don't haven't had our ear to the ground in a decade, so we don't know what's going on. But with Nnormal, there's like a good fit there on what his brand value, or what his values are, and what Nnormal's brand values are. So I think that could be a good one. I don't think he's the type of guy that actually commands the top bucks. Like, he's not the best of the best, and just down from the best of the best, you can probably get good runners for not that much money. Like,
Mm,
I don't know, 40,
yeah,
50,000 euros a year. Not a lot of money, but that's kind of probably where those guys kind of fit in. Enough for those people to earn a living, backed up by their coaching and their other things that they do to kind of um, build that kind of worth for themselves.
yeah.
Let's move
Francesco.
on. We are two-thirds into the show. It's 2 o'clock live on a Friday. We're flying through the subjects. If you don't have time to stay around now, catch up on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts from tomorrow. Go and subscribe, give us a review, let us know what you think. Ricky, next one. Apparently there's going
Next
to be
one.
waves.
Next one.
There's going to be
We're
waves. Sabrina
talking about
Stanley.
we're talking about people and contracts and sponsorships, and now we're talking about a dude who lost all of them, and now he's back. He's back. Dropped a bombshell on us with his Instagram post the other day. Stian Angermund is back, baby. He's back. He's got himself a settlement deal. He served his 16 months. If he takes it, he can start back training. He can start back racing straight away. But he's got no sponsor. Asics dropped him. I, Everybody dropped him. I don't know who's going to take him on. We'll talk about what we think about Stian and what we personally think about him after. But I want to know, what do you think? I think this is huge news, but where do you think he's going? Who do you think is going to take him there? And what races is he going to do, man?
Okay, I'm going to spit it out you quick here. So, look, he served a 16-month ban, retroactively applied, so he's free to go. He can run free, as you say, dropped by ASICs, probably contract obligation that meant that they could just cut ties, see you later, no hard feelings kind of thing. But he left the sport, 22, 23. He was the guy.
He was
Like,
top.
he is top of the tree in VK. He can descend. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
People liked him. People loved him on the scene. And you know where he could go? Who
And
give him a lifeline? Killian.
Killian, 100%, 100% agree with you there. I said the minute I saw that post and I saw his back, I said he's going to Nnormal. He's going to Nnormal. Killian is his mate. He's going to pick him up, give him a big hug, give him a brand new pair of shoes, and say, get after that Golden Trail Series, man.
Here's something to think about. Like, what if he comes back? First off, we'll get into where he might race, but what if he comes back and races and there's two scenarios here. He's either at the top or close to the top. Oh, we've got balloons here. He's at the top or close to the top, or he's just not gonna be as good. And either way, it's gonna say something. People are
Mm.
gonna interpret that as he's not on the juice, or like he never was on the juice because look, he's still there.
Yeah.
So, like, where do you think he's gonna line up again?
See, this is the thing. It's like when whether whether you're guilty or not, when you get banned, there's such a dark cloud hanging over you. There is. It just comes with it. It doesn't matter if you're guilty or not. There will be that cloud hanging over you, and you'll always have people speculating the wrong or the bad thing, and it's going to be very hard for him. But look, he's got to put the blinkers on. But I mean, I don't know how it works. How does it work with the likes of Golden Trail Series, like with the likes of UTMB after you're banned? What is the protocol like? Like, can he go straight back into, let's say he qualifies, can he go straight back into OCC? Can he go and run in the Golden Trail Series? Is there certain rules that apply once you're banned? You can't do some of these races, or I don't know all the facts around that. Like,
He served his 16-month ban by accepting that there was something there, and I think it was a tainted supplement, but they haven't been able to identify which supplement it was, even though he provided the supplement that he thought it was. And I think the general consensus is it must have been something taken very close to competition that was contaminated, and that's why it
contamination, yeah,
triggered.
yeah.
But look, to answer your question, he's as free as he was 2 years ago to race, and the only thing that he has over him is that stigma and that dark cloud, and his legacy is always tainted. Like, it doesn't matter what Steen does from now till retirement, he's always will have had that flagged for doping.
True, very true. And I would say that about 90% of athletes. I think that once once they've been accused of something like that, there's a cloud hanging over them. But I just think Stian is such a nice guy. I think he's been a brilliant role model over the last, I don't know how many number of years. And I personally think it's highly unlikely that Stian was doping. And I'm willing to believe that it was what he says it was, that it was a contamination and that he was unfairly done and it shouldn't have happened and whatnot. But he took it on the chin, and I'm excited to see him race. I'm excited to see him lock in a race in 2025, and I honestly will be there to cheer him on, and I wish him all the best going forward in 25.
Last question on Steen.
Mm.
What's he gonna do? Is he going to go back to the Golden Trail Series, which from this year, athletes or own sponsors have to fund the travel for the pros? So there's a cost involved for him straight away. If it had been last year, he'd come back, Golden Trail Series potentially could have covered his travel and expenses to race,
Mm.
and that would have given him the kind of the opportunity to showcase himself. Is Nnormal or a sponsor going to get on board and kind of believe in him and help him at the start? Or is he going to go, you know what? I'm going to go back to where I
I
was
was going to
the
say,
original
yeah.
king and go back to the ever expanding Skyrunner World Series.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that is, all of that is so cool because we have to remember this man was the king at the time he got banned. He had won everything. He had won Gold Trail Series. He had won OCC. He had won the World Champs. I mean, he had won it all. Like, you know, he was at the top. He was at the top. So like, and it's stripped away from him, took away from him, you know. So it's going to be so cool to see what he picks, where he goes, and who brings him there. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, let's see. We'll keep track on that. We're coming close to time. Thanks to all the viewers who are tuning in. This is Trail Talk Live on Instagram. We're here every Friday at the same time. Catch up on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple from tomorrow. Ricky, two more athletes we need to discuss. Sabrina Stanley, you snuck staying in before I got to come up with Sabrina Stanley. She has floated the biggest sponsor announcement coming in March. She has, I, I think she's been dropped by TORQ. It's not that she has left TORQ. Just reading into some Instagram posts and things in the previous months. So, like, give me your first thoughts on Sabrina Stanley.
Yeah, Sabrina. Like again, I'd be lying if I said I was a massive Sabrina. She's just, I think she's deadly. I think she's quality, but I don't get that excited about her. And I see that she's going to get a big deal, or it looks like she's going to get a big deal. And I think if she's leaving Terex and she's going somewhere else, I feel like that's probably going to be Solomon. I think it's going to be Solomon. And again, honestly, I'm not that excited about Sabrina Stanley. I just, yeah, you know.
Rightfully so. You're in the right position here because, like, no shade on Sabrina. She's she's a great athlete, but I think her element is that 100K, 100 mile American
Yeah,
national level when it comes to the world stage. You know, she's maybe bottom side of the top 10 at UTMB, which is still an amazing level, but that is a step down from the best that's out there. So a couple of things I want to float out. Like, I think on a brand level, La Sportiva would be amazing fit for her. She lives in Silverton. She's a real mountain person. Like, that's her thing. She's like a mountain first athlete, and that's what they are as a brand. Budget wise, La Sportiva will
yeah,
be, I mean, La Sportiva's budget, 90% of it goes on Anton Fabrichka, and the rest of the 10% go on people like Sabrina Stanley. So that's potentially a fit there. But apparently there's it's a big announcement. So as Chrissy pointed out in the chat, could it be Kip Run?
mm,
Is Sabrina Stanley going to sign with the French powerhouse?
yeah. That that could definitely happen. Could definitely happen because look, at the end of the day, that's what they want. They want the best deal they can get, and if she's going to get that, look that for Kipron, that'd be brilliant. That'd be a great result. I think if they could get her over the line on that, so it'd be great for the brand, and it'd be good for her as well. You know, I think it'd definitely be good for her.
Yeah, I think signing with a European brand like Kipron, who are wanting to break into the American market, I think that would definitely be like a big enough wave, like a big announcement, a surprise announcement, a first for an American athlete as well. That's something that you should be, as Sabrina should be proud of. I think that's an achievement. So interesting. Although I gotta also say, shout out to whoever it was in the Trail Talk WhatsApp community that had dug into Sabrina's follows on Instagram and noticed that she was following OnlyFans and OnlyFans merch. And a previous story had been that something along the lines of that she was losing her contract and maybe she should get into selling feet pics. So maybe she's just going hard on the influencer game and we're going to see food pics from March to fund those UTMB trips. But like, who knows, Ricky? Look, that is us. We've come to time. Thanks everyone for tuning in. This is Trail Talk Live. You can replay on Instagram straight after the show. You can replay on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts from tomorrow morning. We do this every Friday. We do the podcast every month. We got that coming up in a couple of weeks. So tune in. Go check out my boy Ricky Win 10 on Instagram, and you know who I am. And before we close it out, shout out to Satisfy and the Moth Pack debacle. If you're not sure what that is, go into the WhatsApp, We'll Talk WhatsApp, and see what we're talking about. Anyway, Ricky, have a good weekend, mate.